And good afternoon, baseball fans. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. Getting ready for Game 2 of 4 on this fine Tuesday afternoon. It is the Madisonville Rangers taking on the host Wasilla Road Warriors. Glad to be with you. My name is Josh Eldridge, with you all day long as we get set for the second game. Madisonville entering 1-0 after they won the opener today in a 10-8 final score. They look to grab one against Wasilla, who opened the tournament 0-1 last night after a loss to Palmer. They'll look to right the ship today against the Madisonville Rangers. Both head coaches meeting at home plate. We'll step aside real briefly, and then we'll introduce you to the starting lineups coming up in just a moment. This is the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Josh Eldridge back with you, ready for game number 2 of day number 2 at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here in Wasilla, Alaska. First pitch right at 1:46. Count is 0-1. The leadoff hitter for Madisonville, Connor Hutchinson. He goes up against Gerardo Palomares for the Wasilla Road Warriors. The right-hander delivers strike 2 down the middle, and we are off and running. Connor Hutchinson leads off for the Rangers. He'll be followed by Layden Bozarth. Hayden Hudson is the first baseman, batting third. Micah Austin, the second baseman, hits cleanup by Jalen Grove, the left fielder, hitting fifth. We'll introduce you to the rest of the lineup after the 0-2 pitch. A curveball misses upstairs. 1-2. After Groves, it's Easton Medford, the center fielder, batting sixth. Hitting seventh is Tate Nobles, the designated hitter. Aiden Rice at third base hits eighth, and Jax Lee in right field bats ninth for Madisonville. The count of ball and 2 strikes to the catcher for Madisonville as that pitch skates away. The count is now even, 2-2. It's Mitchison. Trying to even up the count here. Take you back to the opener today where Mitchison was 4 for 4 with an RBI, 2 doubles. Was instrumental in Madisonville's 10-8 win against Palmer. It's a really back and forth affair. It's part of the reason why we wound up starting this one a little bit late. So much offense in that opener made the game run just a little bit long. This pitch on the way from Palomares. Hit in the air, right or left side in foul territory. The third baseman, Berta, will run out of room over there. And the count will remain 0-2. So Madisonville won their opening game of the tournament 10-8 against Palmer. Wasilla lost their opening game 4-2 against Palmer. 4-1 against Palmer last night in the opening game of the tournament. Here's the pitch to Mitchison. Hit in the air, center field. Russell over a couple of steps. He will make the catch for the first out. One away in the top of the first inning. Gives us an opportunity to introduce you to the starting pitcher, Palomares, for the Wasilla Road Warriors, making his second start of the summer. This is his third appearance overall. He's pitched 11 2/3 innings. He has a 2-0 record. He's given up 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned, 11 strikeouts for an ERA of 1.8 through his first 11 2/3 innings pitched. Landon Bozarth will take ball one high, gets ahead in the count. Bozarth had 2 RBI in the opener today and a double in the first inning. His second RBI came on a sacrifice fly in the 5th. Here he hits one high in the sky, shallow center field. Russell has to run a long way in to put that one away for the second out. So 2 quick outs, and this will bring up Hayden Hudson for the Madisonville Rangers. Hudson in the opener today had 2 RBI on a single in the first inning, was held quiet for the rest of the ball game. As Palomares comes set and ready to deliver the pitch. Goes curveball, loops it in there for a strike about knee-high over the middle of the plate. Nice location there for Palomares to get ahead of Hayden Hudson, with Micah Austin waiting on deck for the Rangers. Palomares delivers the pitch. Another curveball. This one grounded right back to him. Snags it on a hop, toss to first, and that'll be the inning. The Rangers down in order to start the ball game, and we will have to see what Wasilla brings to punch next as we go to the bottom of the first inning. And you're watching this live on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Getting set to start the bottom of the first inning. And the starting order for the Wasilla Road Warriors goes like this. Leading off and in left field is Gabe Wheeler. The shortstop, Ramon Guzman, bats second, followed by the catcher, Chase Sivelich, hitting third. Batting cleanup is number 5. That is Waylon Halverson. Then you're going to have the third baseman, number 15, Bridger Berta. He patrols third base today. Hitting 6 is the designated hitter, Camden Meady, and then he'll be followed in the order by the second baseman, number 8, Aiden Perez. The center fielder is batting 8th. That would be number 9, Cade Russell, followed by the right fielder, number 6, Sebastian Sanford, in the order for Wasilla. They'll be going up against Jace Weaver on the mound for Madisonville. Take a look at the numbers for Weaver so far this summer. He is making his second start of the year. His 4th overall appearance. He's pitched 8 innings previously with a 2-0 record. He's given up 9 hits, 3 runs. 2 of those were earned. He has struck out 3 for an ERA of 1.75 through his first handful of innings this summer. All right, and looks like we're just about ready to go with Wheeler getting ready to step in. Gabe Wheeler, the leadoff hitter for Wasilla. Again, losers 4-1 last night against Palmer, but had a lot of opportunity to score runs in that contest. We're just unable to finish out those opportunities. So in the first 3 innings of that ball game, they got runners into scoring position, were unable to get anything across, and now, well, looking to finish the job, so to speak, and pick up their first win of the tournament in which they host. Pitch is in the zone there. The count is even. A ball and a strike to Gabe Wheeler. On deck next is Ramon Guzman. Delivery on the way from Weaver. Here's the pitch. It is tipped foul. The count 1-2. Madisonville in the red jerseys today in the white pants. Madisonville written across their chest in white cursive. Wasilla in their home navy blue tops with Road Warriors written across their chest in red and white outline. They've also got white pants today. And although Madisonville was the home team in the opener today, they moved on over to the first base dugout as Wasilla, the host team, will be the home team in every game unless they make the championship game as the second best team out of our round-robin games. Right now, though, that's what they would be on line for if they made it that far. They are 0-1 in the tournament right now, trying to even things against Madisonville. And at that point, if they were able to do it, it would make everybody in the tournament 1-1. As Palmer, who started the tournament with a win last night, they lost earlier today 10-8 to Madisonville. So it'd be an even field through the first 3 games of the tournament. Everyone beating up on each other. Count is still 2-2 to Gabe Wheeler. Here's the delivery. Hit in the air, right side foul. Count remains 2-2. Here's the pitch. It is a line drive into left field, and that will get down in front of Groves, and Wasilla gets things started with a single in the bottom of their first inning. This will bring up Ramon Guzman. Now, Guzman, despite pitching very well last night, wound up picking up the loss in that game. Pitched a complete game in the loss last night to Palmer. Here he watches the first pitch find the zone for a strike, but it rattled off the glove of the catcher, allowing Wheeler to advance into scoring position. And Wasilla knocking on the door here in the bottom of the first inning. And Guzman picked up the loss last night, pitched 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them were earned. He walked 2 and struck out 5 in the loss last night to Palmer. But now a chance to help his team score the opening run of the ball game with a runner at second and nobody out. He looks to lay down a bunt and comes up empty on the bunt attempt. The count now 0-2. Guzman likely to swing away now in a 2-strike count. Delivery on the way from Weaver is going to bounce to the plate. Mitchison knocks it down, but advancing to third is Wheeler. Count will be a ball and 2 strikes, and Wheeler now just 90 feet away from scoring with nobody out in the inning. I think something might be wrong with the knee pad there for Mitchison. He's looking to work on his equipment a little bit there. Not sure if he needs it to tighten up or what the case might be. They still discuss things back there. Want to, again, highlight some of the sponsors that make today's broadcast possible on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. And part of that is the Alaska Sports Report. You can visit them online at AlaskaSportsReport.com and find out everything going on from Legion Baseball to prep news to statewide sports news. Everything right there at AlaskaSportsReport.com. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Guzman. Line drive, left field, base hit. Wheeler is going to score, and the Road Warriors are on the board to start this one. They lead 1-0 after the RBI single from Guzman. Timeout called quickly as the coach for Madisonville up and out of the dugout discussing things with his pitcher. And back-to-back singles is how we get our first run of the ballgame. Now Wheeler advanced to second on a pass ball, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and then scoring on that single from Guzman. This will bring up Chase Sivlich for the Road Warriors. I'll take a moment here and let those guys discuss things, and I take a couple notes here in my book as I continue to write out the starting lineup. It was kind of a scramble to get everything going today in between games. With that first game ran just a little bit long. It was a great game, don't get me wrong. I wanted to see that one through to a conclusion, but it sort of put us up against a clock and getting everything ready for the second game, so I'm still putting in the starting lineup into my scorebook, so appreciate you being patient with me. All right, Sivlich steps in now, the starting catcher for Wasilla. First pitch to him is a breaking ball. Looked to be the slider, catches the outside corner. The count is 0-1. Again, Wasilla already on the board today, and they lead 1-0. On deck is Waylon Halverson. We'll introduce you to the starting defense for Madisonville here in just a second after this delivery from Jace Weaver. Misses upstairs. The count now even, a ball and a strike. Mitchison is the catcher. Aiden Rice is at third. You've got Bozarth out there at short, Micah Austin at second, and Hayden Hudson at first. Groves is in left, Mefford in center, and Lee is in right for Madisonville. Here's the pitch. Misses inside, nearly got Sivlich, but he will take ball 2 off the inside corner. Gets ahead 2-1. For Sivlich on the season, batting .400. He is 8 of his first 20 at the plate. That's a good way to start the summer. Sivlich, line drive, center field. Could be playable for Mefford, and he moves over to his left a few steps and will make the catch for the first out. Guzman will remain over there at first. And this will bring up Waylon Halverson. Halverson on the season batting .391. This Wasilla team can swing the stick. They bat .322 as a unit. And they'll be a good matchup against Madisonville, who also bats above .300 as a team. Madisonville comes into play with a batting average of .335. So you can expect some offense, I think, again in this one, as long as both starting pitchers don't begin to really lock down. Both of these lineups are undeniably dangerous. First pitch missed upstairs to Halverson. And a throw down to try to get Guzman is unsuccessful. The catcher, Mitchison, kind of slipped, I think, on home plate as he came up to throw that ball. Yeah, I think he stepped on the plate, and, just unfortunate there, and Guzman able to get in there safely at second. And for Ramon Guzman now standing out there at second. Take a look at the stolen base numbers for him. That is his 8th stolen base of the summer. He is now tied for the team lead in that metric. A curveball in there for a strike. And that's strike 1 to Halverson. Bridger Berta is on deck for the Road Warriors. Set on the mound is Weaver. And the pitch on its way. That one looped in there and, thought it might have caught the zone, but actually caught Halverson. I think that hit just his front elbow, and so he will take first after being hit by a pitch, and this will bring up Bridger Berta. So 2 men on and 1 out for the third baseman from Wasilla. Berta on the season, the team's leading hitter, batting .450 to start the summer. He is 9 for his first 20. Pitch on the way. Misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. This is game number 2 of 4 today from Bumpus Fields in Wasilla, Alaska. Our first one, of course, between Palmer and Madisonville went the way of the Rangers. Now, in this one, our next game scheduled to start right around 4 o'clock. That'll be Palmer taking on Klamath Falls, Oregon, the Falcons, and then Falcons will finish out their leg of a doubleheader against Wasilla tonight at 6:30. So the Road Warriors will complete this game, be able to go grab a bite to eat, maybe watch the Falcons play a little bit, and then come on back for the nightcap this evening at 6:30. Pitch in there for a strike. I believe the count is 2-2. Pardon me, 2-1 the count to Berta. And here's the offering. It is swung on a miss. Now the count is 2-2. 1 away in the inning, 2 men on. Berta at the plate. Camden Meady is on deck, the designated hitter. Runner is on the move. It is rolled out to the pitcher. Both runners were on the move there, so a little bit of a hit and run. Maybe didn't work out exactly as designed, but it still did move both runners into scoring position. Guzman over there at third, Halverson at second. Berta grounding out on that play. And here is Camden Meady to bat with 2 men in scoring position and 2 outs, a game in which his team already leads 1-0. Meady on the season batting .333 for the Road Warriors. Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Inning started with a single from Gabe Wheeler. He would later score on the RBI from Ramon Guzman. He still stands at third, and Halverson, who reached on a hit by pitch, is out there at second base. Delivery is a ground ball, left side of the infield. It is through and by the shortstop, Bozarth, into center field. 1 run will score. They'll wave Halverson in to score. And a 2 RBI single for Camden Meady makes the score 3-0, and the Road Warriors lead. This will bring up Aiden Perez. I think they're switching the baseball around a little bit out there. It's just a quick timeout called. And we are just about ready again for baseball from Bumpus Fields. Perez stepping in. Perez will just graduated high school, class of 25. Listed only as a second baseman on the roster. And, of course, that's where he's getting the start today. Perez keeps his hands up high, sort of tall as that pitch in the zone. And keeping his arms up there, it lengthens out the strike zone a little bit, as that pitch might have been upstairs to other hitters, but Perez takes it for strike 1. Weaver checks the runner at first. That's Meady before coming set. Delivers an upstairs pitch. There's no doubt about that missing. Count is 1-1. Perez on the season, again batting .333. He is 4 for his first 12 this season for Wasilla. Another pitch misses high. The count is 2-1. Now, even though the season has been short so far, Perez does lead the team in one statistic. He has been hit by a pitch 5 times, which does lead the team. Here's a pitch. Misses high. 3-1 the count. Perez also towards the top in on-base percentage. He ranks third on the team in on-base percentage at .550. Delivery on the way, misses upstairs, and, well, that boosts the on-base percentage a little bit as he works a walk. It moves Meady up to second and brings up Cade Russell. Russell, the right-handed hitting center fielder for Wasilla, getting a chance here in the bottom of the first inning, a game in which the Road Warriors already lead 3-0. Two more men on base for Russell, who bats .238 this season for the Road Warriors. First pitch to him is looped over the head of the third baseman and into left field. Pardon me, they're going to keep Meady there at third. Perez advances to second, and the bases will be loaded for Sebastian Sanford with 2 outs. Sanford getting a chance here. He is still looking for his first hit of the season, but what a time it would be to come up with it as he takes a pitch outside, 1-0. Sanford is 0 for his first 9, has actually yet to reach base so far this summer. Here's the offering. Knee-high fastball called a strike, 1-1. The count to Sebastian Sanford. Sanford, class of 26. He'll be a senior next year here in Wasilla. Delivery on the way from Weaver. Ground ball down the third base side. Up with it is the third baseman, Rice. Throw on to first is in time. A real close play at first, but Sanford is thrown out. Not before Wasilla scores 3 runs on 4 base hits, and they leave the bases loaded. To the top of the second inning we go, and the Road Warriors lead 3-0 at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Set for the top of the second inning on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. My name is Josh Eldridge. Thank you so much for joining us today. This broadcast on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com is brought to you in part by Alaska 529. You can visit them online at Alaska529plan.com and start your savings account for your child's education. Whatever sparks your child's imagination and curiosity, they will help you save for it. You can visit them online at Alaska529plan.com. All right, it'll be 4-5-6 for Madisonville in the top of the second inning. They find themselves down against Wasilla 3-0. So Micah Austin getting ready to step in now. Austin was 2 for 4 in the opener today against Palmer. The first pitch on the way from Palomares is rolled down the third base line, foul. The count is 0-1. Austin in the opener today had a double and an RBI in the third inning, and he also singled in the fifth inning, scored 2 runs in that contest. Here's the 0-1 pitch, lifted high in the air to the left side. It's in foul territory, a long run for Wheeler, but he'll let that one drift foul. And the count is 0-2, went totally out of play down to the bullpen that's down there down the third base side. And so Austin is behind in the count, 0-2. Jalen Groves waits on deck. Lalo Palomares, right-hander, comes set. And the pitch. Curveball lifted towards the right side, playable in foul territory. And the out is made. I believe that was the first baseman who caught it. My angle is kind of cut off over here, so I'm going to put F3 in the book and hope that I'm right. Regardless, it's an out for Austin. And one away in the top of the second brings up Jalen Groves. Groves in the opener today was 3 for 4, had 3 singles and a run scored. Also reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th inning, so he reached base every time around. Hoping to keep that streak alive for himself here. The pitch from Palomares is an elevated fastball that he rips foul. The count now 0-1. Groves tall in the right-handed batter's box. Groves stands 6'1" and his class of 2026. Here he rears a pitch and will take first. It'll bring up Easton Mefford for the Madisonville Rangers. Mefford in the opener today was 1 for 4. An RBI single in the 3rd inning was all the offense he produced, although he did reach on a fielder's choice in the 1st, was out on the base paths. He otherwise grounded out twice in that contest. Here he bats with 1 out, a runner aboard at first, as Palomares gets ready to deal to the left-handed hitting center fielder for Madisonville. Taken below the knees for a ball. The count is 1-0. Temperature rising a little bit here in Wasilla, though we're about near our daytime high of 61 degrees. Right now it's 60, and kind of angry-looking cloud hanging overhead. What are we talking about here? The base umpire. Base umpire talking to the pitcher out there on the mound. Looks like we're ready. Count is 1-0 to Mefford. Like I said, that cloud hanging over center field, hoping that it doesn't rain on us, although as I look in my trusty old weather app, it doesn't look like rain is in the forecast until 10 o'clock tonight. I hope that that's the case. Had a little bit of rain yesterday. Was not an issue, but rain is never fun, not when it's supposed to be summer baseball season. And the championship game of this tournament was actually rained out last season when Wasilla made it to the title game. Here's the pitch on the way to Mefford. Swung on and missed. The count is even now at a ball and a strike. After Mefford, it's Tate Nobles. And Wasilla made it all the way back to the championship game last year for the first time since 2019. And didn't even get to play in it as it was rained out. They were supposed to take on West Anchorage. The 1-1 pitch on the way from Palomares. Takes pause after coming set, then delivers in a nice two-seam fastball in the zone. 1-2. Started inside to the left-handed hitting Mefford and then just kind of crept back over the plate. Count 1-2. And I think we got a balk out there. Count is 2-2. Wasn't to balk, but they do add a ball to the count to Easton Mefford. Here's the pitch. That one is in the dirt. Kicks away from the catcher Sivelich, but nobody is advancing. Count will be 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mefford. Left-hander steps back in the box in a full count. Move over to first, and again, back safe is the runner over there, Groves, reached after being hit by a pitch earlier this inning. Pitch on the way is in the zone, and that rung up Mefford on the inside fastball. He goes down looking for the second out in the second inning. Tate Nobles getting ready to hit now for the Madisonville Rangers, the designated hitter in this contest. Here's the pitch. There was a balk before the pitch was thrown. The pitch was wild, but it was a balk before the pitch, and that allowed Groves to advance to second. Palomares has had some trouble throwing out of the stretch these last couple of batters. It might be the ticket for Madisonville to get back into this game. Here's the pitch. Line drive over the head of the shortstop into center field. They are waving in Groves, and he will score. The throw into the infield is a wild one, but staying at first after the RBI single is Tate Nobles. And the score now 3-1. Madisonville still trailing, but on the board. It's trailing by 2 in the top of the second inning as Groves came in to score from second. All right, ready to go. Aiden Rice is going to bat now with 2 outs. Rice, the starting third baseman right now for Madisonville. Here's the pitch. Curveball drifts outside. The count is 1-0. Aiden Rice in the opener today. Actually, I'll move over to first. Back safely is Nobles. Rice got the start earlier today for Madisonville. Without a decision, he pitched 3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned, walked 2, and struck out 2. Another move over to first. Nobles back safely. That one a little messier than the first, but looks like Palomares ready to deliver to Aiden Rice. The count is 1-0. Here's the pitch. Knee-high fastball misses off the outside. The count is 2-0. After Rice, it's the number 9 hitter in the order for Madisonville. It's Jax Lee. Pitch on the way to Palomares. Line drive right to the second baseman. Tried to play it on a hop, but it skipped under his glove. And Rice reaching base there. And we've got timeout as Coach Ott comes out of the dugout for Wasilla. Going to have a conversation with his whole team. We'll see how that one was scored. It was a real hard hit ball right to the second baseman. Didn't really have to move to make the play. It just skipped underneath his glove. So I'll be curious how that one would have been scored. I think I would go probably error on that one. Hit hard, but right at him. They'll allow Nobles to reach second. So Rice is aboard there at first. And Jax Lee is set to bat for Madisonville. Batting from the right side. And timeout is called once more. The Wasilla Road Warriors just trying to get on the same page here in the second inning. They do have a 2-run lead, but the tying run is on base in the person of Aiden Rice at first. Jax Lee still looking for his first hit of the summer. He's 0 for his first 7. He will watch strike 1, grace the outer third there as Palomares gets ahead 0-1. Back to the top of the order next for Madisonville with Connor Mutchison. Second baseman Perez keeping the runner at second honest. Palomares delivers home. Curveball bounced to the plate. The catcher Sivlich, well, actually, I believe that hit the ground and then came back up and hit Lee. And so hit batsman will load the bases. Nobles goes to third. Rice goes to second. Lee, after being hit by the pitch, will go to first. That's the second batter that Palomares has hit this inning. And it will load the bases for the top of the order in Connor Mutchison. Mutchison flew out in the first inning. So he is 0 for 1 today. Palomares looking in to get the sign from Sivlich. And the pitch on its way. Hit in the air, center field. Russell having to run in. He will dive and make the catch. What a catch in center field for Cade Russell, saving a sure thing run, probably 2, and allows Wasilla to maintain the lead 3-1. The Rangers leave the bases loaded, but they do get one across in the inning. Again, 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the second next on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
Getting set for the bottom of the second inning in game number 2 of 4 today from Wasilla, Alaska, home of the Road Warriors. And right now it's the Road Warriors who lead Madisonville 3-1. Due up this half inning for Wasilla is going to be Gabe Wheeler, Ramon Guzman, and Chase Sivlich. That's the top 3 guys in their order as they look to replicate what they did in the bottom half of the first. And that all started with a Gabe Wheeler single. On the season, Wheeler is batting .379. Every single hit for him has been a single this summer. And again, he added another one earlier today and a run scored. First pitch to him is over the middle and called a strike, 0-1. Wheeler with a partial team lead in RBI. Up at 8 right now this season. He does lead the team in hits with 11 hits to start the summer. And having a conversation now with Coach Ott, the home plate umpire, and the batter Gabe Wheeler. Not quite sure the content of the conversation, but Coach Ott heads on back to the dugout. Maybe down the third base coaching box. It looks like that's where he'll be stationed. And Wheeler settles back in. Here's the pitch. Popped up, playable in foul territory. Third baseman Rice calls off the catcher and makes the catch for the first out. Good vocal job by Aiden Rice then down there at third. Mitchison was running full speed to try to get that ball, but Rice shouted, ball, ball, ball. And that's the way they teach you, and that's how you record the first out in the second inning. Ramon Guzman batting now for Wasilla. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored all in the first inning. Pitched a heck of a game last night despite picking up the loss. Was still in good spirits today. He was actually the first guy who greeted me as I walked into the ballpark today. He takes ball 1. I'm sitting here down, I'm down the first base line. My camera shot right behind home plate, but my table and my tent set up a little bit down the first base side. I came in here today and it was all taken down, understandably so. Guzman takes the ball upstairs. They are 2-0. So we had to reset up the tent today. Guzman helped me set it up, helped me bring my table out here, helped me get some power. He was very helpful, and appreciate him as they were all getting the field ready today as the host team, and we're still gracious enough to find time to help me today. So Guzman gets ahead in the count 3-0. Just graduated high school this past spring, class of 25. Looking to get on base with 1 out in the inning. He's ahead in the count 3-0. Here's the pitch. And that's knee high on the outside corner. It's called a strike. 3-1 the count to Guzman with Chase Sivelich on deck. From the windup, Jace Weaver delivers the pitch. It's fouled off, and the count will run full, 3-2. Started this inning with a pop-up in foul territory. Guzman trying to find a way to get on base, something he's able to accomplish 48% of the time. Here's the 3-2, misses high, and he adds another. Working a walk there with one out in the second, and finds himself down at first. So now an opportunity for Sivelich with one on and one out. Sivelich 0 for 1 in the ball game. He flew out to center field in the first inning. Hoping to right the ship a little bit here. Second on the team in hitting, batting .400 to start the summer. He is 8 for his first 20, and he leads the team in runs scored with 12. Delivery on the way from Weaver. Line drive, center field, down for a base hit. It's going to allow Guzman to advance to second, and it'll bring up Waylon Halverson. Halverson is without an official at-bat in this contest. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning and came around to score the second run of the ball game. Again, Wasilla has built out a 3-1 lead against Madisonville, the team from Kentucky, traveling over 3,800 miles to be here today in Wasilla. That's at least from their home stadium. Now, they did come from Kenai yesterday, or maybe the day before, or maybe it was today. I would imagine their travel day was probably yesterday, though, and they won the Wood Bat tournament in Kenai after defeating the host team 2-0. Through 28 innings pitched in that tournament, they had a team ERA of 1, and that was how they were able to power themselves to victory in that tournament. They didn't score the most runs in that tournament, not by a long shot, but they allowed the fewest, and that was enough to earn themselves a win. First pitch to Halverson winds up above his head, 1-0. Again, it's Guzman at second, Sivelich at first, one away, bottom of the second. Halverson awaits the pitch from Weaver, who comes set. Aggressive leadoff is second by Guzman. Here's the pitch, misses upstairs, 2-0. After Halverson in the order, that's going to be Bridger Berta. Looking in as the right-hander Weaver gets the sign from Mitchison before coming set. Time is called at the plate by Halverson. And the second baseman, Austin, going to come in, have a quick chat with his pitcher, offer up some brief words of encouragement, and head on back home. That's Micah Austin out there trying to encourage his pitcher in a 2-1 count. Pardon me, count 2-0 as the pitch on the way to Halverson. Ground ball left side of the infield. The third baseman boots it. Rice can't come up cleanly with it, and that'll load the bases. First error of the ball game for Madisonville. It will load the bases with one out. And here is Bridger Berta. 0 for 1 in the contest, but a golden opportunity to build out this lead just a little bit more. Berta this season leading the team in hitting with .450. Here's the pitch. That one misses below the knees. Over the plate, but low. The count is 1-0 to Berta. Wasilla as a team entering play today 6-2, although 0-1 in the tournament. The only team that they've lost to this season is the Palmer Pioneers. The team beat them in league play once and then earlier in this tournament once. 1-0 pitch is going to be hit foul. The count is 1-1. Chase Sivelich out there running at second. I believe that's still him over there. He's kind of dancing around out there at second, trying to be a distraction, I think. But he also has a very aggressive lead off of second. Is almost a guarantee to score on a base hit with how aggressive he's being out there. Takes another about 4 or 5 steps. And here's the pitch. It's a bunt down the first base line. A well-placed bunt. No one's there to cover the bag. And a bunt single will score Guzman. 4-1 Wasilla leads. Advancing to third is Civilich. Halverson to second. And a bunt single and an RBI for Bridger Berta. As it was pushed down the first base line, Weaver came off the hill to field it. Hudson was crashing for the bunt, and in turn, no one covered first. Austin lost the foot race to the bag from Berta. And this will bring up Camden Meady, still with the bases loaded and still with just 1 out. And a 4-1 ball game. Meady had a 2 RBI single his first time around. And here's the pitch. Fly ball center field looks playable for Meffert. He will come in and make the catch. Tagging from third is Civilich. The throw in is going to be cut off, and Civilich will slide in safely. A sacrifice fly and an RBI makes it 5-1 Wasilla as Civilich touches home. Halverson stayed put at second. That means Berta didn't move anywhere at first. But now 3 RBI on the day for Camden Meady. We've got timeout on the field. I think the home plate umpire wants to brush off home a little bit. That's all right. Gives us time to introduce you to Aiden Perez, the second baseman for Wasilla. Perez is without an at-bat in this game. He walked and was left stranded in the first inning. On the season, Perez batting .333 and looking for more. Still a man in scoring position for the Road Warriors. Offering on the way by Weaver. First pitch taken for a strike. Maybe a little bit high for Perez's liking, so he'll watch that one go by. And after Perez in the order, it's Cade Russell. Already 2 more runs home this inning for the Road Warriors. Again, they lead by 4. Pitch on the way by Weaver. Pitch misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Oh, pardon me, 1-1. Aiden Perez, class of 25 for Wasilla. Has a different sort of batting stance. Stays tall, keeps his hands over the plate, kind of extended from his body. I'm trying to think of who he reminds me of. It's almost like Kevin Youkilis, except he doesn't tilt the bat towards the pitcher. Timeout called at the plate before the pitch, and Perez trying to dictate the pace a little bit in the right-handed batter's box. His dugout is all pumped up over that timeout call. Wasilla has been very vocal in third base dugout today, willing their team to a 4-run lead in the bottom of the second inning. That stuff does help. As that pitch misses outside, 2-1. I can recall as a hitter when I played in high school, I don't really remember hearing the guys cheering behind me so much. I mean, I remember it was what we were supposed to do. Everyone did it. I did it when other guys were hitting. But I don't remember hearing it so much myself. But I recall being on the defensive end, standing at first base or catching, and hearing the other team do that stuff would really, really dig at me. Here Perez lifts one into foul territory. It is out of play, foul. The count is 2-2. So I don't know if it's more for the benefit of the offense or to the detriment of the defense, but I would probably think the latter, honestly. Now, on the contrary, you might think, well, you can't hear the guys in the dugout. How are you going to hear the crowd? Now, that's totally opposite. I do remember hearing the crowd. And right now, a pretty decent group of people here in Wasilla cheering on their home team, the Road Warriors. There was a pretty healthy contingent of Madisonville, Kentucky fans here today, too. The 2-2 is again fouled. The count remains. Russell runs in a couple of balls that have been retrieved. We've got a couple of kids who are out here running around retrieving foul balls. That's another thing I remember back in the day when I was in Little League. You used to be able to grab a foul ball, take it to the snack shack for a free hot dog. Every time you brought a foul ball back, you got a free hot dog. I mean, you would run after those. But I guess it did encourage kids to probably go get one and then sit, so it gave everyone a chance to go get some. That pitch also popped foul out of play. But not me, man. I would stockpile those hot dogs. I would go get one, leave it with Mom, go run after another one, grab a second hot dog, leave it with Mom. I think my record was probably 3 in the same game. I don't remember eating all 3 of them, but I do remember having the 3 hot dogs all at once. And I don't know how they gave away that many free hot dogs at one time. They must have been making their money somewhere else. but it's the only place I've ever found that gives away free hot dogs for foul balls is where I played Little League in Pajaro Valley, California. 2-2 pitch on the way to Aiden Perez. And he swings and misses, and that will be the second out in the second inning. Oh, pardon me, that actually ends the inning. Didn't have my own scoreboard updated as a sacrifice fly before, and the strikeout gets him out of the inning. 2 men were left stranded for Wasilla in this frame, but they score 2 runs in the process on 2 base hits. We will go to the top of the third in a 5-1 ball game on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
We drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Top of the third inning, and Wasilla leading Madisonville 5-1. Due up this half for the Rangers from Madisonville, Kentucky, is Layden Bozarth, Hayden Hudson, and Micah Austin. That's 2-3-4 in their order as they try to climb out of a 4-run deficit against Lalo Palomares on the mound for the Wasilla Road Warriors. Here's the first pitch on the way to Bozarth. Pitch misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Madisonville from Kentucky entering play 6-3 overall on the season and 1-0 here in the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. They were victors at the Kenai Wood Bat Tournament. They beat the host Kenai 2-0 in the championship game on Sunday after losing to them the day before, 4-2. They also defeated South Anchorage 3-1 and Juneau 9-2 in those in that quick tournament over there. Is that one in the zone? I believe the count is a ball and 2 strikes now to Bozarth, who's 0 for 1 in the contest. He flew out to center field in the first inning. Palomares comes together and delivers the pitch. Hit in the air deep to left field. Wheeler having to go back, continues to go back, and, well, he gets there to make the catch for the first down. So 1 away in the top of the third. And here's Hayden Hudson, starting first baseman for Madisonville. Hudson is 0 for 1 in this contest. And the opener today was 1 for 3, but a 2 RBI single in the first inning helped Madisonville claim their first lead of the ball game at the time. The teams, Palmer and Madisonville, would trade leads a handful of times. The score finalized at 10-8 with the Rangers defeating the Pioneers. Pitch on the way to Hudson. Loops in there a breaking pitch for a strike, 0-1. Again, this is the second game of 4 today. We'll get to see the Palmer Pioneers one more time tonight as they will play at 4 o'clock against the Klamath Falls Falcons, who prepare for their first game of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. Klamath Falls will then play Wasilla in the nightcap tonight. Bouncing ball down the third baseline, foul. The count is 0-2 to Hudson. After Hudson, it's Micah Austin. Tournament continues tomorrow here in Wasilla at 1 o'clock. Madisonville will take on the Klamath Falls Falcons with a 4 o'clock title game for whomever finishes the top 2. Here's the pitch. Misses down out of the zone. Hayden Hudson chases strike 3. A little bit of mind games behind the plate from Sivelich. Nice job there. He kind of clapped his glove looking for the high pitch, and that was a breaking ball well out of the zone low, and it produced Hudson a swing and a miss. Probably thought maybe changing the eye level a bit, and that worked exactly to plan, as here's Micah Austin batting with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 3rd inning. Pitch on the way from Palomares. It misses high. Count 1-0. Civilic behind the dish for Wasilla. Class of 26, so he'll be a senior next year. And he's got that kind of veteran acumen behind him. He has that attitude about him, just feels like an experienced ball player. Here, ball 2 taken inside against Austin. Civilic standing at the tallest listed height on this roster, just over 6 feet tall. Pitch on the way, misses upstairs. Count 3-0 now to Austin. After Austin, if he finds a way to get on base, whether it's a walk here or otherwise, Jalen Groves waits on deck. The 3-0 pitch on the way from Palomares. Time is called as Palomares starts his delivery. Don't often see that after a pitcher starts, that the batter is awarded time, but, well, now Palomares has to regather in a 3-0 count. Pitch on the way, and that'll be taken for strike 1. Maybe a little bit up above the letters to Austin, but close enough to the zone where Palomares earned that strike after firing one in before, on the pitch where he was had that timeout called against him. Count 3-1 to Austin. The pitch is going to find the zone. Count is 3-2, and a delayed strike 2 call, as Austin thought it was ball 4 after the beat where there was no strike call, started walking down to first and has to walk on back. So now the count is full with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. Palomares battling back into this at-bat, trying to find the put-away pitch. That one misses high, no question. And awarded first is Micah Austin. So now it's Jalen Groves who bats for Madisonville. Groves was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, but came around to score the only run of the ball game for Madisonville so far. That was back in the 2nd inning. Groves in the opener was 3 for 4 with 3 singles and a run scored. Also reached on a fielder's choice in the final inning of that game. So Palomares takes a check on the runner over there at first. Austin now back on the rubber and ready to go as he comes set. First pitch on the way to Groves. Long time coming set for Palomares. Now delivers the pitch. It's popped up into foul territory right side and out of play. Count will be 0-1 to Groves. After Groves is Easton Mefford. He waits on deck for Madisonville. Palomares moves again over to first. But back safely is Austin. Worried about that guy over there at first with 2 outs. You've seen Civilic be able to throw down to second, though, pretty good. If he can stick around with a fastball here at an 0-1 count. Let's see. Pitch on the way. Ground ball left side of the infield. The third baseman, Berta, knocks it down. He is unable to recover and make the throw in time, though, as an error will allow Groves to reach first and allow Austin to advance to second. Second error of the ball game for Wasilla extends this inning, so if any runs come across here, they'll be unearned against Palomares. But he's hoping to stop it right here against the left-handed hitter Medford, who's 0 for 1 in the contest with a strikeout. Pitch coming up. Palomares has been taking his time out there after coming set. Now he delivers the pitch. It misses high, 1-0. And Palomares trying to control the pace a little bit. Seems to have been the name of the game on both sides of the ball for Wasilla. Like to have their pitchers come set, hold it for a moment, find themselves before delivering, and at the plate they are quick to call time if they feel the opposing pitcher is taking too long. But here, a balk will advance both runners. Count is 1-0 now with runners at second and third. Austin to third, Groves to second. This will allow Palomares to work out of the windup if he wants to, or at least his version of the windup. Still not entirely squared up to home plate, but he'll actually just decide to throw from the stretch here. And the pitch. Curveball in the zone. Nice location inside corner to the lefty. Count is even to Mefford. Sivelich delivers the sign to the pitcher Palomares, and he comes set. Pitch from Palomares. Two-seam fastball in the zone for a strike off the outside corner. Nice location there for Palomares. Mefford now down in the count 1-2, looking to avoid the punch out for the second time today. And a couple of guys out there in scoring position, trying to find a way to come through for his guys. Palomares set, takes a deep breath as he rocks for a moment on the mound and delivers the pitch. Curveball misses in. A good location. Tried to do the same thing he did to get ahead 1-2, but that time the pitch misses off the inside corner and evens the count at 2. On deck after Mefford, if he finds a way to get on base, is Tate Nobles, the designated hitter for the Madisonville Rangers. Here comes the pitch. Misses high and away. The count runs full. After 2 quick outs here in the third, it's been a struggle to get the final guy for Wasilla. A walk and an error, and now another long at-bat here from Mefford. Really making the pitcher out there, Palomares, work throughout the game, throwing a lot of pitches. Here's the pitch. Misses inside, and that'll be a walk to Mefford, who put together a good at-bat after battling being down 0-2 to work a walk. It will load the bases for Tate Nobles. Now, Madisonville was able to load the bases in the second, but were unable to do much with it. They only scored a single run in that inning. So now it's up to Tate Nobles, who is stranded at third in that instance, to try to come up with the RBI himself. He is 1 for 1 with an RBI single in the second inning, knocking in the only run of the game so far for Madisonville. But he represents the tying run at the plate here in the top of the third inning. Sivelich gives the sign, gives the target. As Palomares delivers in a curveball right over the middle, started up and out of the zone, but dropped in for strike 1. Kind of a hanging curveball there. You don't always expect to see that on the first pitch of an at-bat. So Nobles looked at it, and he'll be sitting on that pitch again if Palomares offers it to him. Delivery on the way from Palomares. He goes upstairs with a fastball that time and will miss. The count is 1-1. Tate Nobles in the opener today was the starting catcher for Madisonville. Today, in this game, he's designated hitting, but finished 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored in the opener, the 10-8 win against Palmer. Delivery to Nobles is going to miss inside. The count is 2-1. There's a curveball that started in on the hands and broke into the strike zone if it was going north and south, but still missed off the inside corner. As Nobles gets ahead 2-1, he'll call timeout before stepping back into the box. As Sivelich cycles through some signs. Palomares doesn't like the first one he gets. Now comes set. And here's the pitch. That one misses upstairs. The count is 3-1. Again, been a long inning for Palomares out there. He's thrown a lot of pitches and in danger of walking in a run here, 3-1 behind Nobles. Big leads off of every bag for the Rangers. Here's the pitch. Curveball is in the zone, and the count is full. 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. The designated hitter at the plate. Palomares trying to get out of this inning. If he's able to do it without allowing the run, all of it is erased. The error, the walks, the long at-bats. If he can hold on to the lead here for his team, it'll be as if none of it happened. The 3-2 pitch, here it comes. No, he's going to move over to second. After stepping off, we'll have to wait a moment before the 3-2 pitch. Palomares set. And here it comes. Curveball in the dirt, swung on and missed. Drop third strike. The throw down to first is in time. And that will get the Road Warriors out of the inning. Again, for the second straight time, the Rangers leave the bases loaded, and they trail 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the third next on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
At MyBasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
the pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Okay, ready for the bottom of the third inning, and we've got some changes for Madisonville. Appreciate you being patient as we introduce you a new pitcher. It's Jaden Bozarth into the game. Jaden Taylor into the game for Madisonville on the mound. A foul ball ripped away from Cade Russell. I believe the count is 1-1. Only other change is a new catcher into the game. We'll introduce him to you after Cade Russell rips a single down the left field line. He is now 2 for 2 after that single and gets on base to start the bottom of the third inning. Again, Wasilla leading 5-1. Also going to see Tate Nobles into the game. He is no longer designated hitting. He will enter the game as the catcher. No more designated hitter for Madisonville. As Taylor comes into the game, he will bat leadoff coming up next time around for the Madisonville Rangers. Here's Sebastian Sanford batting now for Wasilla. He will take strike one. He is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to end the first inning. Runner at first is Russell. And Jaden Taylor will take a look at him statistically here in just a moment after the 0-1 pitch. It's going to miss. The count is 1-1. Well, Taylor making his third appearance of the summer, and he's pitched 3 2/3 innings previous coming into today. Has given up 5 hits, 3 runs, although just one of them earned. Good for an ERA of 1.9, although such a small sample size. Be curious to see how he does in probably a bit of a prolonged outing against Wasilla here today. Count a ball and a strike to Sebastian Sanford. And the pitch on its way is a curve ball that started well out of the zone. A big bending breaking ball for Taylor found the zone 1-2. That's going to be a hammer if he can locate it low in the zone. Had a ton of movement. After Sanford, back to the top for Gabe Wheeler for Wasilla. Sanford looking to try to find a way to get on base. Down in the count 1-2 with a runner on first. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and he will be the first casualty in the third inning. And again, we go back to the top for Gabe Wheeler. Now, Wheeler is 1 for 2 today. He singled in the first and scored, also flew out in the second inning. Check on the runner at first. Back safely, just barely, is Russell for a right-hander. Jaden Taylor has a pretty good move off to first. Taylor stands 6'4" out there on the mound, 242 pounds. Another move over to first. He's back safely. It's a big boy out there, has a lot of velocity, has a lot of movement on that breaking pitch. Like I said, he'll be class of 27 for Madisonville. Only going to be a junior. He looks like he's going to be dangerous even after only watching him throw about 5 pitches. Here, that one misses outside. The throw down to try to get the runner stealing is not there. Winds up in center field, but Russell going to have to stay put at second after the stolen base. He is in scoring position with 1 out. And for Cade Russell, want to let you know that is stolen base number 4 for him on the year. He has yet to be caught stealing, picking up his 4th one there. Here's the pitch to Wheeler, misses high. The count is now 2-0, I believe, to Wheeler. After Wheeler is Ramon Guzman. Five to 1 the score. Runner at second for Wasilla. They look to add to their advantage against Madisonville. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back, and the count is 2-1. Wheeler on the season batting .379. 8 runs batted in, 7 runs scored. So the wind starts to pick up a little bit here in Wasilla, blowing out towards the northwest, which is pretty much out straight away center field. Pitch on the way. It's a big curveball in there for strike 2 again. Starts almost at the eyes of Wheeler before breaking down below his belt. It's a ton of movement on that curveball. All right, count 2 balls, 2 strikes, runner at second, 1 out. And Wheeler trying to find a way to get on base here. Set is the pitcher, Taylor. Takes a look at the runner at second, Russell, before delivering home, and timeout is called by the batter before Taylor can get the pitch off. Again, like I said, the Road Warriors want to control the pace of the ball game. Thought that Taylor was taking too long, and so they call time. On the other end, they like to try to get the batters to do the same thing. Their pitchers will come set, take a couple breaths before delivering. Part of the mind games they're trying to play in this host tournament. Taylor throws over to second, winds up in center field. Might have gotten away with a balk. Either way, the runner advances to third on the error. Thought it might have been a balk, but regardless, runner advances, and the count is still 2 strikes, still with 1 out and a runner aboard at first. Wasilla looking to add some more. They're in a good spot to do it. Set on the mound is Taylor. And the 2-2 is nearly going to hit Wheeler, but he gets ahead, and the count is full. Ramon Guzman been waiting on deck, watching, studying Taylor. He's seen a lot of pitches thrown to Wheeler here. Runner at third is Russell, reached on the leadoff single. Sebastian Sanford struck out. That's how we get our 1 out. And now Wheeler in a full count. Here's the pitch. Line drive, center field. That one will be caught by the center fielder, Mefford, and they are going to hold the runner, Russell, at third. A nice throw in from the outfield. Held that runner. So now 2 away in the inning. Runner remains at third for Ramon Guzman, who's reached base and scored 2 runs today. 1 for 1, though. He singled in a run in the first, and he also walked in the second. Coach Ott down the third base line, giving signs to Guzman, but with 2 outs and a runner at third, the objective here is simple. Get a base hit, score a run. Not much else to it. Delivery on the way from Taylor. Curveball misses below the knees. The count is 1-0. Like I said, those clouds continue to move overhead here at Bumpus Field. Again, it's not raining on us quite yet, although, like I said, the wind is picking up a little bit as that one finds the zone. The count is now 1-1. Wind blowing out about 7 miles an hour, like I said, over towards the northwest. Gusts up to 14 miles an hour right now, but it's been fairly steady, but only just now picking up as those clouds come overhead. Count a ball and 2 strikes to Guzman. Wasilla looking to add a couple runs here. The 1-2 swung on and missed, and I thought that was strike 3, but instead that'll be strike 2. The count now, a ball and 2 strikes to Guzman. Chase Sivelich on deck for the Road Warriors. Taylor from the windup with the runner at third. Here's the pitch. Goes curveball. Guzman lofts one over to short. A leaping catch for Bozarth, and that will end the inning. 1 base hit for the Road Warriors, but they'll leave him stranded as we go to the top of the 4th in a 5-1 ball game on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
Getting set for the top of the fourth inning in the second of 4 games today from Wasilla, Alaska. And so far it's the host teams who are defeating Madisonville from Kentucky 5-1. For the Road Warriors, 5 runs on 7 hits. They've committed 1 error, and they have left 6 runners on base so far. For the visiting Rangers, they've got 1 run on 1 hit. They've committed 2 errors, and they have left 6 runners on base. As we get set for this fourth inning, it'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the order for Madisonville. That's Aiden Rice, Jax Lee, and then Jace Weaver. First pitch from Palomares is hit high. Shallow left field. Over towards the left field line is Wheeler. 1 pitch and 1 out in the fourth inning. All right, now the left-handed bat Jax Lee stepping in. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat in the second inning. Takes a ball upstairs. The count is 1-0. Jax Lee for Madisonville. Be class of 25, just graduated this past springtime. Lee didn't play in the opener today in the win for Madisonville. Again, the 10-8 victory over Palmer. He wasn't able to get in that bat in that game. Did not play in the field either, but getting his second crack at things against Lalo Palomares. Here's the pitch. Misses down inside below the knees. The count is 2-0. After Lee, again, it's the newcomer to the game. It would be Jaden Taylor. Here's a ground ball right back to Palomares. Throw on to first is there, and that's the second quick out in the fourth inning. 1-3 in the book. Back to the top of the order, and again, it'll be Jaden Taylor. He bats here in place of Connor Mitchison, who exits the game after going 0 for 2. Mitchison started the game as the catcher, but they have since done away with the designated hitter and inserted Taylor into the ballgame to hit for himself as the pitcher. So getting his first look at Palomares this ballgame. Bats with nobody on and 2 out. Here's the pitch. That one misses high against him, and the count is 1-0 to Taylor. Look at the season numbers for Taylor this year, batting from the right side. Like I said, he's the tallest player, stands 6'4", and on the season at the plate, batting .385. 3 singles and a double and 1 home run as he gets ahead 2-0. Only 2 home runs have been hit this season for Madisonville. The other went by a guy we have not seen today. I don't think he traveled with the team. Another ball rolled foul. The count 2-1. After Taylor, it's Layden Bozarth on deck for Madisonville. This will be the last game of the day for Madisonville. But they will be back tomorrow to play the Klamath Falls Falcons in the first game before we play the championship game. Ground ball, third base line, foul. Count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Next game scheduled to start at 4 o'clock, although that's in about 50 minutes. I'll probably have to push back the start of that one a little bit, but we'll know for sure in just a little while. The 2-2 on the way from Palomares is a curveball and a chopper sent out to short. Guzman has a bit of trouble with it, eats him up and winds up in center field. The third error for Wasilla today will allow a 2-out base runner, and it will bring up Bozarth. Now both teams committed those errors. Bozarth is 0 for 2 today. Couple of flyouts, once to center, once to left. I believe they're going to have a courtesy runner come in for the pitcher. Let's see, who is that over there? Can't quite make out who that is running down there at first, but Taylor has been taken out. As soon as I can find out, I will let you know. First pitch on the way to Layden Bozarth as Palomares takes a deep breath before delivering the pitch. It's in there for strike one. After Bozarth, Hayden Hudson waits on deck. He'll hope for a chance this half inning. Move over to first, and back safely is the runner in for Taylor. Looks like Nash Lee out there. I think that's number 7 for him. So Lee aboard at first. And the 0-1 on the way to Bozarth as Palomares kicks and fires a curveball that graces the outside corner about knee high. No balls and 2 strikes to Bozarth. And our score 5-1, top of the 4th inning. The Klamath Falls Falcons taking batting practice over beyond the left field foul line as they are getting ready for their first game of the tournament, coming up with our next one scheduled against the Palmer Pioneers. Curveball misses outside, throw down to first to try to backdoor Lee, but it's back safely. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bozarth. Layden Bozarth, class of 27, stands 5'10" in the right-handed batter's box, as he awaits the 1-2 pitch from Palomares. It's fouled back, I think off the mask of the catcher, Sivlich. Count remains ball and 2 strikes. Middle infield shaded for what looks to be a double play, although there are already 2 outs in the inning. Maybe they were just going to have a quick chat in a dead ball situation. They look to be returning home there, playing straight away, 2 outs in the 4th inning. Bozarth waits the pitch from Palomares. Sivlich gives the sign, and it's a curveball that is swung on and missed for strike 3. Well, the Rangers get a runner on the error, but Wasilla maintains the lead, up 5-1, going to the bottom of the 4th next on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
To reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
At Eisler Group, they are confident that their tax and accounting professionals are experienced and trained like no one else. From individual, corporate, partnership, estate, trust, Eisler Group stands ready to help you with all of your financial, tax, and accounting needs. They have been in Klamath Falls for nearly 60 years, raising their families here and being part of the community. The Eisler Group can be found at EislerKF.com. That's ISLERKF.com. EislerKF.com.
It's the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Wasilla Road Warriors lead the Madisonville Rangers 5-1. Due up this half for the Road Warriors is Chase Sivlich. First pitch to him is lofted foul down the right side, out of play. The count is 0-1. After Sivlich this half inning, it'll be Waylon Halverson and Bridger Berta. Sivlich so far today is 1 for 2 after flying out in the first inning, singled and scored in the second. Trying to add to his team's 5-1 advantage over the Rangers of Madisonville, Kentucky. Well, really ran into one, sending it deep to center field. Moving near the wall is the center fielder, Mefford. He will make the catch. Really put a jolt behind that one. Sounded golden off the bat. But instead it is a loud fly out to center field and the first out in the bottom of the fourth inning. Hit it to about the deepest part of the outfield, too. 390 to straightaway center. You think if he hit that one down either line, that's probably not coming back to Taylor. But with one out in the inning, in steps Waylon Halverson, who has reached base twice today but is yet to record a base hit. First pitch to him winds up behind him. The count is 1-0. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. That was in the first inning. Would come around to score in that inning. He also reached on an error in the second. Did not come around to score that trip around the bases. Bridger Berta waits on deck as Taylor ready to deliver the 1-0 pitch to Halverson. Outside fastball misses just outside. The count is 2-0. Good location for a 1-0 pitch, trying to grace the outside corner, but just missing it to Halverson, who gets ahead 2-0. Here's the pitch. Hard grounder to third. Rice fields it on a hop. Throw across the diamond is in time. And a nice play by Aiden Rice down at third to record the out. 5-3 in the book. And this will bring up Bridger Berta. Berta 1 for 2 today with an RBI single in the second inning. He also grounded out to the pitcher back in the first inning. That pitch is going to miss. 1-0 the count with 2 outs in the inning. Well, forecast calls for rain now here in Wasilla, although it's only for the next hour, but I don't see any of it yet. It's got to be changing here soon because these clouds, they look angry, if I were going to say that myself. They are very dark, hanging overhead. They've been here for a while. I would anticipate they'll rain on us at some point, but hopefully not. 2-0 pitch on the way to Berta. Goes a little off speed there, maybe looking to get the accuracy back online and finds the strike zone. The count is 2-1 to Berta. Berta, class of 26. He'll be a senior next year in Wasilla. Curveball must have slipped from Taylor, missed well away. And the count now 3-1 to Berta. Looking to get on base. A little 2-out rally action for Wasilla. He started the last inning out with a single, but then it was 3 straight outs, kind of the reverse of whatever a 2-out rally might be, where you start good and then, well, Taylor came in and slammed the door on him in that inning. Here Taylor readies for the 3-1 pitch. That one misses out and will be a walk. And Berta gets on base with 2 outs in the inning. Camden Meeting getting ready to step in now for the Wasilla Road Warriors. He is 1 for 1 today with 3 RBI. Had a 2 RBI single in the first and a sacrifice fly with an RBI in the second inning. He certainly left his mark on this contest. Now trying to keep the 2-out rally going after Berta reached on the walk a moment ago. First time Taylor's had to work out of the stretch this inning. He'll move over to first, but tag not applied in time to Berta. He's back safely. After Meady in the order, it's Aiden Perez for Wasilla. Taylor looks at the runner at first before coming set. And here's the pitch. It's in there for a strike. Runner on the move to second. The throw down is by the second baseman, covering it into center field. Berta thought about stretching it into a second bag, trying to go to third, but instead will stay put. So he's just in scoring position. That pitch was called a strike to Meady, but an RBI opportunity here in the fourth inning. Meady tall in the right-handed batter's box. Awaits the pitch from Taylor. Popped up, out of play, foul. The count is now no balls and 2 strikes. Taylor sees the ball, takes a moment before towing the rubber, straightens up the cap, wipes off the hand. Now he looks ready to go in an 0-2 count, trying to get out of this inning. Get his bats back up to the plate, not allow that extra run to come in to score. His team already down by 4. Pitch on the way from Taylor. Curveball, and got Meany to swing and miss. And that will be the end of the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left for Wasilla in this inning. We will go to the top of the 5th in a 5-1 ball game. This is the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament, and you're watching it live on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
There's a zipper. Top of the 5th inning, and due up for Madisonville this half is going to be the middle of their order. Hayden Hudson, Micah Austin, and Jalen Groves as they try to find a way back into this ball game, trailing by 4. It'll still be Lalo Palomares on the hill for Wasilla, as he has thrown well so far. Good enough to keep his team in front. Here's the first pitch. It's a ground ball down the third baseline foul. Count is 0-1 to Hayden Hudson, who's 0 for 2 on the ball game. He grounded out and struck out in the first and third innings. Sivelich, well, he gives the sign, but not before Hudson calls timeout at the plate, trying to recenter himself ahead of the 0-1 pitch. Hudson batting .263 on the season for the Madisonville Rangers as he fouls one back into the glove of the catcher Sivelich. Count is now 0-2. Again, after Hudson, it's Micah Austin on deck for Madisonville. Palomares with the delivery goes breaking ball but misses high and tight. Count now a ball and 2 strikes. Madisonville had the offensive explosion in the opening game, scoring 10 runs, but the offense has been tough to come by here in the second game for them. Only 1 hit through the first 4 innings. They're looking to change that here as the 1-2 misses upstairs. 2-2 to Hudson. Wasilla, the same could be said for them last night, where offense was hard to come by in the 4-1 loss against Palmer. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and that's how we start the 5th inning. A punch-out for Hayden Hudson. That's the second time he's gone down on strikes today, and the second strikeout in a row dating back to last inning for Palomares. One away in steps Micah Austin. Austin in the opener today for Madisonville was 2 for 4 with an RBI double. That came in the 3rd inning. Takes a first pitch strike. Inside fastball, nice frame job by Sivelich. He's just looks like he's got the experience back there. Again, he's only just finished up his sophomore year, but he's been stealing a couple all day long with those inside and outside fastballs. Here's a curveball grounded over towards second. Perez fields it cleanly, Throw on to first is in time. 2 quick outs in the 5th inning. It'll bring up Jalen Groves, who's reached base twice today, but has yet to record a base hit. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, came around to score there, and he reached on an error in the 3rd, was left stranded in scoring position in that instance. Palomares looks in and gets the sign from Sivlich. Sivlich gives the target, and that pitch misses inside. 1-0. After Groves, it's Easton Mefford. Groves stands 6'1". He'll be a senior next year in Madisonville. Awaits the pitch from Palomares. Popped up. Deep fly ball, center field. Going back is Russell. Finally settles underneath it, and he will make the catch for the 3rd out. The Rangers down in order in the 5th. We'll go to the bottom half next with Wasilla up 5-1 on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
At MyBasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
The pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Set for the bottom of the 5th inning from Bumpus Field in Wasilla, Alaska. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Road Warriors this half inning. That's Aiden Perez, Cade Russell, and Sebastian Sanford. Jaden Taylor still on the mound as that pitch misses high. The count is 1-0. That one in the zone, evens the count, a ball and a strike to Perez, who's 0 for 1 in the ball game today. He walked in the 1st and struck out in the 2nd. And Taylor, who's been bringing a lot of velocity so far, is going to go upstairs and miss. The count is 2-1. We can try to take a quick check of the line score for Taylor so far in the game. But since coming into the game, Wasilla hasn't really been able to get much going on offense. Is that pitch called a strike? The count 2-2. Taylor now into his 3rd full inning. So, yeah, he came in the 3rd, pitched a scoreless 3rd and scoreless 4th innings against Wasilla, who scored all 5 of their runs in the first 2 innings. Pitch drifts outside. The count is full now to Aiden Perez. 3 runs in the 1st, 2 more in the 2nd for Wasilla. That's been all their offense so far. And here we are, bottom of the 5th inning. Perez, the pitch is going to miss outside. So Perez will earn the walk to lead off the 5th inning. Bring up Cade Russell. Russell 2 for 2 today. A couple of singles on the ledger for him. He was left stranded, though, both times in the 1st and 3rd innings. Taylor looks in. Gets the sign from Nobles. Nobles gives the target. Corners in, protecting bunt for Russell, but he will take strike 1 elevated in the zone as he falls behind here. Russell, again, already 2 for 2 today. He bats .238 on the season. It's been a good day for him so far against the Madisonville Rangers. Move over to first. Back safely is Perez. Boy, Taylor really fires a dart over there when he checks on that runner at first. Almost fires a pitch on him, steps off, and then uses the mound full extension. He's pretty quick about it, but I think the lack of speed on the move itself is made up for by the just pure velocity that he throws over to first with. So the count is no balls and a strike to Cade Russell. Here's the pitch. It's popped foul. The count is 0-2. Starting to sprinkle a little bit here in Wasilla. Rain forecasted for only the next hour or so, but starting to come down just slightly here at Bumpus Fields. Taylor readies for the pitch. It's an 0-2 count to Russell, but first to move over to first, and, well, back safely is Perez. On deck is Sebastian Sanford for Wasilla. He'll hope to be able to bat with a couple of guys on, but right now Russell behind in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Curveball, ground ball towards second. Austin is going to throw on to short for one. The back end is not going to be there as Russell beat out the back end, but they get the lead runner, and Russell reaches on a fielder's choice. One out in the inning. And it's Sebastian Sanford. As some folks here in attendance in Wasilla heading for the vehicles, time to pick up the umbrella and otherwise grab a jacket, grab an umbrella, grab the coat. It's raining. It's not so bad, though. Certainly not enough to stop the game, I don't think, as long as the field stays in good shape, which it's been in good shape all day today. I've got to imagine that playing 7 games on this ball field in 3 days is going to do a number on it, but it's holding up good so far. That pitch is going to miss. Must have been outside. The count is 1-0. It was about belt high. To me, it looked middle, but must have been outside to Sanford. The count is 1-0. Taylor is set for the 1-0. Curveball misses upstairs, and the count is 2-0. Again, Russell aborted first after reaching on that fielder's choice. Sanford stepping in after going 0 for 2 so far today. He grounded out in the first, struck out in the third. Temperature not really dropping too much with the rain coming along, still 60 degrees here in Wasilla as that move over to first, and back safely is Russell. Temperature not changing at all for the next few hours, so whether it's raining or shining, it's going to be 60 or 59 degrees probably all the way through until our nightcap is completed this evening. Set is Sanford, and the pitch is rolled out to third. Rice throws on to second for one, but again, they get the lead runner, but unable to complete the double play. So Sanford reaches on the fielder's choice. Russell is out at second for the second out of the inning. And now we'll go back to the top of the Road Warriors order for Gabe Wheeler. Wheeler 1 for 3 today. He singled and scored in the first inning, along with 2 flyouts in the second and the third. Taylor looking to keep things right where they are. A scoreline of 5-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Curveball misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. It's a good slider there from Taylor, but either missed just high or just outside that movement. Maybe a little bit of both. The 1-0 on the way to Wheeler. That one missed high. Wheeler on the season batting .379 for Wasilla. Like I said earlier, leads the team in hits. And third on the team in runs scored now after the offense we've seen from the Road Warriors so far. In the zone, 2-1. about letter high, middle of the plate. And there's Taylor battling back into the at-bat. Still behind 2-1. And Ramon Guzman is on deck. Taylor is set, ready for the pitch, and here it comes. Runner is on the move. The throw down to second is not going to be there. Sanford stealing second into scoring position after that. Sanford, for him, his second stolen base of the summer. Set is Taylor. Pitch misses upstairs. Count now 3-1. Trying to tell, looks like the rain has stopped momentarily. All the umbrellas are gone, and I don't hear it bouncing off my tent, so I think the rain is gone, at least for the moment. But the wind's still picking up a little bit. Count is 3-1. Second baseman Austin trying to keep Sanford honest out there, but here's the pitch. Ground ball towards short, off 2 hops. Throw on to first. Bozarth records the out to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left for the Road Warriors in the 5th. We'll go to the 6th, and Wasilla leads Madisonville 5-1. You've got the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament live on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
We drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Nope, I was just tying myself down a little bit better. Yep. Getting set for the top of the 6th inning as the Wasilla Road Warriors lead the Madisonville Rangers 5-1. Due up this half for the Rangers as they look to start inching back into the ball game. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 in their order. Easton Mefford, Tate Nobles, and Aiden Rice. Palomares still out there working for Wasilla. First pitch, ground ball towards second base. Moving over is Perez. Tough throw to first. It is in time. A fantastic play by the second baseman, Perez. Holy moly. That was not a routine ball by any means. And he's able to record the out. Having to move all the way over to the second base bag. Made the off-balance throw against his momentum for the out. Rain's picked back up here in Wasilla as well. Again, nothing too crazy, but umbrellas back out. It's bouncing off the top of the old tent here. And the pitch on the way to Nobles misses. The count is 1-0. Nobles so far today is 1 for 2. Had an RBI single in the second inning. And also struck out in the third. Nobles started the game as a designated hitter. Has since come in to catch. That pitch is going to miss off the outside. The count is 2-0. And in doing so, after stopping being the designated hitter, That means that no more DH for Madisonville either, as their pitcher Taylor bats leadoff. Delivery on the way is going to miss upstairs. The count is 3-0 to Nobles, with Aiden Rice due up next. Palomares has thrown well. He was a little bit shaky in the third inning, but since then has really gotten around without too much trouble. Here a walk. It's the first walk issued since that third inning, so I might have to hold my breath a little bit. But in the fourth, 3 up, 3 down. In the fifth, 3 up, 3 down as well. So it's been a good go of things these last couple of innings for Palomares. But here's the first base runner since that third inning, and we'll have a visit from Coach Ken Ott as he steps on out of the dugout to take a visit with Palomares. Gives us a quick opportunity to remind you that our coverage of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com is brought to you in part by Alaska Airlines. You can visit them online, book your trip anywhere from Alaska, anywhere on the West Coast. Typically, when I fly anywhere on the West Coast, it ends up being Alaska Airlines. It was how I literally got here to Alaska. Went Medford, Seattle, to Anchorage. Great flight, great people with Alaska Airlines. Big thanks to them for stepping up and allowing us to bring you every single game of the tournament here from Wasilla. Conference still going on the mound. 2 more games left to go today here in Wasilla, Alaska. It's the Klamath Falls Falcons who make their first appearance of the tournament coming up whenever we get the game in. The game was scheduled to start at 4. We're going to blow past that metric, so it'll probably be, I would probably gamble 4:30, 4:45. It just really depends on when this game finishes. But then the Falcons will have the nightcap against Wasilla, the host team, tonight at 6:30, who currently leads Madisonville 5-1. Palomares is going to stay in the game for Wasilla. They lead 5-1. 1 out in the inning, and a runner on first is Tate Nobles. Aiden Rice gets ready to bat now for Madisonville. Rice is 0 for 2 today. He reached on an error in the second and flew out in the fourth. All right. Play ball, says the umpire, as Palomares comes set. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, left side of the infield. The shortstop Guzman throws on to second for 1. That's all they'll get is the lead runner. Nobles is out, and Rice reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 outs in the inning. Runner remains at first for Jax Lee. Lee is 0 for 1 today. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning and grounded out to the pitcher in the fourth. Lee batting from the left side. Now, for Madisonville, one of only 2 guys who hits from the left side. The other being Easton Mefford, who led off this inning with that ground out. Here's the pitch on the way to Lee. He'll take it for strike 1. Inside corner on the fastball for Palomares. Gets ahead of the number 9 hitter in the order. And Jaden Taylor is on deck. The pitcher back to the top of the order next for Madisonville. Pitch on the way. Curveball is going to miss in. The count is 1-1 to Jax Lee. Good location for Palomares there, but just wound up missing off the inside. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. It's going to be fielded by the shortstop. Guzman will go ahead and take it to the second base bag himself, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, and a runner left for Madisonville as they trail Wasilla 5-1 going to the bottom of the 6th on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
Nearly set for the bottom of the sixth inning here at Bumpus Field in Wasilla. Rain coming down fairly considerably now, but still not huge drops. It's just a lot of small drops, kind of a misting going on right now. Clouds, though, do look to be lightening up a little bit, so hopefully the rain dumps for a bit right now, and then it is clear for the rest of the night. It's been kind of on and off for a minute. This is the steadiest it's been all day. It's probably been raining for the last 5 or 10 minutes continuously, which is the first time it's done that. But hopefully they just get this out of the way. Like I said, if you look over the right field side, the clouds, they're still there, but they don't look as dark and as upset as they did earlier in the day. Ramon Guzman due to lead things off for the Road Warriors this inning. He'll take a big breaking ball from Taylor for strike one. He's had a lot of movement on that pitch all day, and like I said, after Wasilla jumped out to a five run advantage, or scored 5 runs in the first 2 innings, they have yet to score another, but they might be looking to add to their lead as Guzman sends a ball deep in the left center field gap and will wind up with a standing double to lead off the 6th inning. Guzman is now 2 for 3 on the day. That's his first extra base hit. As he singled in a run back in the first inning. He's also walked and grounded out, but able to get on base there with the double. It's Chase Sivelich due to bat now for the Wasilla Road Warriors. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a game get canceled here in Wasilla or postponed to the rain. I was doing some cursory research on Facebook about Bumpus Fields. I saw there was a community Facebook page. I don't know if it was actually run by any one person, or it was sort of like everyone sort of contributes to it. The first pitch from Taylor is in the zone for a strike, going 1 to Sivelich. But I was looking at a picture of a youth softball game and literal puddles on the field, and they were still playing. I mean, like the coaches were standing at the box in puddles. So I hope that we don't play with puddles on the field today, but all's to say that I think it would take a lot for them to postpone a game with just a little bit of rainfall here in Wasilla. And I can tell you, coming from Klamath Falls, Oregon, that we played through plenty of rain in the springtime. Honestly, the spring baseball season is probably the coldest time of the year. That's including the football season, which, well, yeah, that is pretty darn cold as well. Count a ball and 2 strikes to Chase Sivelich, who's 1 for 3 today. Singled in the second, scored a run. Otherwise has flown out to center field twice. Bats with nobody out and a runner in scoring position as Wasilla looks to add a little bit of insurance before closing out Madisonville in the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. Curveball, hit high, shallow into left field, foul territory. It's actually the third baseman, Rice, who moves over to make the catch. It was a hanging curveball that Sivelich just got underneath and popped it out into foul territory for the first out. This will bring up Waylon Halverson. Halverson is 0 for 2 today. He was hit by a pitch his first at-bat, has since reached on an error and grounded out. Guzman, about a 9-step lead off of second base. Taylor delivers the pitch to Halverson as that one came in and got him on the front ankle, a curveball. He's going to limp on down to first. Want to make sure he's okay, as that did not look like it felt very good. Guzman stays there at second. There at first is Halverson. They're going to make sure that he's okay as Coach Ott comes out to check on him. He took that curveball straight up off the front ankle. But I guess he's okay. Coach Ott didn't even make it all the way out for him. So he must have said, go back to the dugout. I'm okay. I want to keep playing. Halverson aboard at first. Guzman at second. And Bridger Berta at the plate for Wasilla. Berta 1 for 2 today. He walked in the fourth, singled in a run in the second, and grounded out in the first inning. Pitch on the way from Taylor. Misses off the outside. The count is 1-0. There's one out in the inning. Wasilla is trying to grab their first win here at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament as the host team. Again, they were beat by Palmer last night. Madisonville beat Palmer earlier today. And right now, Wasilla trying to grab their first win. As I said, that pitch misses low. The count is 2-0. Again, the team we've yet to see in action so far is the Klamath Falls Falcons. The Falcons are here. I can see them. They're sitting down the first base side. They will play Palmer next, and then they'll play Wasilla in the nightcap this evening. Here's the pitch. That one misses, but Noble's a nice job of knocking that one down, keeping it in front of him, and the count is 3-0. After Berta, it's Camden Meady due up for the Road Warriors. Haven't had any runs scored since the third inning. It was 5 in the first and second for Wasilla. Madisonville scored their only run in the second inning. Since then, it's been a pitcher's duel. And the offering on the way from Taylor. Goes upstairs with a two-seam fastball and a 4-pitch walk will load the bases as Guzman moves over to third, Halverson to second, and Berta now aboard with the walk. Here's Camden Meady, who's got 3 RBI today and is 1 for 2. A 2 RBI single in the first inning, followed by a sacrifice fly in the second. He also struck out in the fourth inning. Taylor, though, if there's any silver lining now with one out, you can work out of the windup with that runner on third. The base is loaded. Here's the pitch. Misses low. The count is 1-0. A 4-run advantage right now for Wasilla. Rain coming down again here at Bumpus Fields. Here's the pitch. Misses outside, 2-0. Came back in a hurry. This is probably the hardest it's rained so far. Here's the pitch. That one misses in, 3-0. And Taylor's got to feel like he's being squeezed a little bit, in danger of walking in a run. 3-0 count to Meady. Aiden Perez is on deck. Here's the pitch. That one's middle. Taylor dialed back the velocity a little bit to make sure he can get that one across, and he does. Trying to battle back here, 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That one also finding the zone, knee high on the outside corner. Good job there by Taylor to battle back. Yeah, that pitch that was called ball 3 was pretty close to the zone, so easy to feel discouraged after not earning that call, but was able to get it back and run it back full. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It is rolled foul, and the count will remain 3-2. Wind gusting a little bit out towards right center field. Nothing too much. Pitch is a ground ball left side through the infield. One run is going to score. Halverson is going to stay put at third, so they bring in Guzman. The new score 6-1. Wasilla leads on the RBI single, 4th RBI of the day for Camden Meady. Advancing to third was Halverson. Berta to second with Meady on first. And this will bring up Aiden Perez. Still looking for his first hit of the day. He has walked twice and struck out once. People here in Wasilla, no stranger to the rain. Like I said, the tournament championship was actually rained out a season ago when Wasilla was playing against West Anchorage. Here's the first pitch. It is going to drift outside on the breaking ball. 1-0 to Aiden Perez. Cade Russell is on deck. And I know we're going to have some Klamath Falls Falcons fans start to tune in on our YouTube page. This game started 15 minutes late and is running a little bit long. Not sure exactly when we'll get the next one on the air, but well, this is where you'll find it, right here on mybasin.com's YouTube channel. As always, it's your home for every Falcons baseball game all season long, including, of course, here in Wasilla. So if you're tuning in looking for the Falcons, stick around, and we'll have you for the conclusion of this one. Right now, Wasilla, the Road Warriors, leading Madisonville from Kentucky. A 1-0 count to Aiden Perez for the Road Warriors. And the pitch is going to miss high. The count is 2-0. Perez has walked twice today, mixed in with that strikeout. Could be looking for another one here. Like I said, Perez has got that kind of tall batting stance. Reminds you a little bit of Kevin Youkilis with those arms up high and whatnot. As Coach Ott gives his team the signs out there on the base paths. About ready to go. He walks like Youkilis did as well. 2 of them already today. Pitch on the way from Taylor, the 2-0. Showing bunt. Runner on the move. It's laid down in front of the plate. The throw home is in time. And they go for a suicide squeeze. It does not work. They get the lead runner. Nice play by Taylor. Score remains 6-1. And everyone else is safe. So bases remain loaded. Perez reaching on the fielder's choice as Halverson is out trying to score. And what do we got going on here? Are we calling the ball game here? Do we get to 2:15? What's going on? Oh, with the rain coming out, I think we're calling the ball game here. 6-1 the final. And I'll get indication of that for sure here in just a second. We're going to step aside on AlaskanLegionBaseball.com. We'll be back and we'll give you the full story in just a moment.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Well, good. Everyone is, but she's been listening to you all day. Good. All day? You and the team? To all the games. That's cool. It gives her something to look forward to, and it's so cool. So we so appreciate it. All right. Bring her joy. Did you get a video of him? I just shot a picture. Let's go home. Yeah. Say hi, Daddy. Yes. Let me come out of this little cave I'm in here.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Well, final score is 6-1. Looks like we called this game via the time limit. 6-1, the final. Wasilla improving to 1-1 in the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. Madisonville falling to 1-1 in the tournament. Rain's coming down here pretty good, so post-game show kept sweet and simple. Got to get ready for the next game if we get it on in time. It'll be the Klamath Falls Falcons taking on the Palmer Pioneers here in just a moment. So keep it locked right here. You're watching it live on the MyBasin.com YouTube channel. That's where you'll be able to find the Klamath Falls Falcons taking on the Palmer Pioneers. This is Josh Eldridge saying so long for now from Wasilla.